The Virginians emerged with the nation's capital. And here's the pièce de résistance. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened.
Now, there are actually two reasons for this. Number one, shocker, it's the Mike Gallagher segment.
Broadway!
I give my regards to Broadway.
There's no business like
But so reason number one is this is Hamilton, room where it happened, and my Mike was in the what row?
Row F. Row F, seats 109, 1010. It was pretty
Excellent.
cool. 101, 111, 104, 4 of us, actually.
And the other reason is because Room Where It Happened is also the title of the John Bolton book when this rock-ribbed, solid-spined, America-loving patriot decided to turn on Trump because, hey, that's what you do, and wrote this stupid book filled with all kinds of garbage about him. And John Bolton, hang on a second, I have the John Bolton excerpt here in which he weighs in about General Milley. Quote, Mark Milley is a staunch supporter of the Constitution and rule of law. His patriotism is unquestioned. In the days after Donald Trump's defeat, November 3rd election defeat, I can only imagine the pressures he and others were under in fulfilling their constitutional obligations. What a ridiculous sentence, but he's not done. I have no doubt General Milley consulted widely with his colleagues on the National Security Council and others during this period. I would also be very surprised if many of them were not fully aware of General Milley's actions and that they fully concurred in them. That is John Bolton yesterday. So let's take care of your night at Hamilton, and then we'll go to this.
Oh, well, let me just say it was a great night. Had a fun time. It's a great show, and my mission in life is to try to get you to see it.
I know, I went looking through the soundtrack
listen,
thing.
We try to send each other. Listen, let me tell you something real quick. We try to send each other little tchotchkes for Christmas.
Yeah,
give me that as a Christmas gift. Go sit down with Lisa and Ethan and watch.
Well, Christmas. I mean, it's on the TV box.
No, do it now. Do it now. It'll be an early Christmas gift. I'm just saying, do it for me because I was thinking of you last night when I saw it, and I thought about halfway through the second act, I thought, you're either going to absolutely devour it or you're going to, maybe you'll hate it. Maybe you'll be indifferent. And if you are, tell me. I don't think you will be, though. I think you're going to love it.
And that'll be okay. It doesn't mean you're wrong. These are matters of taste. I am not anti-musical. I find some of them ridiculous, but some of my favorite entertainments ever.
I think you're going to like
Oliver, Man of La Mancha, Sound of Music,
this is not
West Side Story.
This is none of that.
No,
this is
I know.
Don't think old school. Think of a real cool but Mark, the way they tell the story, and I have fact checked it because the first time I saw it, I thought, I want to.
Great.
It comes to life. It tells you all about the drama of Hamilton's affair, how he was extorted and how it nearly ruined him, kept him from becoming president.
Right.
The feuds, the duels that killed his son, and then, of course, took his life at the same spot where his son died in a duel trying to avenge his father's name, right across the river from where I'm sitting right now in New Jersey. It's just a wonderful piece of theater, and I hope you guys will take a couple hours to sit down one night. Do that for me.
Will. Now, and I swear to you, I will, with 1,000% honesty, tell you how it
Full house last night. I'm telling you, if these are super spreader events, I'm gonna go see Bioscan daily. You talk about going in weekly. I got to go see Bioscan every day because Viascan, because I'm going to be I'll be on 5 ventilators because but you wonder. I mean, everybody's sitting there shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow. I mean,
mask to mask.
Yeah, right? But you know what I think of the efficacy sometimes of masks.
You're just over it, aren't you? We are, and this is funny because you fly all the time. You're at Broadway every other night, and these are completely masked things. And eventually, you just go, "Well, I'm wearing a mask," and maybe I would be the same. But as it is, and as you were talking about New York yesterday or day before about your experience at Waitress, and you said it was far from normal. It's not the full usual hustle and bustle of Broadway and the pre-show dinner crowd at 6:30 and stuff like that. I said, you know what? I'm waiting until normalcy kicks in. I want to wait for the New York that Lisa and I know. I know you're glad to be there.
You might be waiting a long time.
I really might. And you've told me, you remember a year and a half ago, I said, well, I'm not going to Disney World until you can do it without masks, or I'm not not getting on the plane. And you said, well, it'll be a long time before you go anywhere that substantial. And you may well be right, because the longer you sort of endure the mask world in order to do things you want to do, the more used to it you get.
Well, not only the more used to it I get, but Mark, let me tell you.
To finish the paragraph.
I'm sorry.
The longer I refrain from it, the more dug in I get.
Right.
I will not get on a plane and only take off a mask to eat a peanut every hour on the hour. I won't do it. I understand if they have the right to have the rule, that's their right. My right is to just not get on a stinking plane.
Well, and you know, here's the way I see it. This is what my struggle is, and while I respect your sort of digging your heels in, neither of us are spring chicks anymore. You know, I'm 61 years old. And we are losing years, Mark. We are losing experiences. This is not going to go away soon, Mark. So you're not going anywhere unless you load up the Roadster and put Grandma on the roof and drive somewhere. Because you're not going to go anywhere then, because this mask wearing on planes is going to be here for at least another year.
This is a strong point strong point you make, wise one. Because I mean, Lisa and I were in New York at least once a year.
You're going to lose that. You're going to lose that.
And you know, how many of those have I got left?
Let me not be morbid.
30, but you're right.
Right. I mean, God willing, we both got 30, 40 years left. But it's not likely. And at 61, I mean, I don't want to keep losing years. And you're missing. New York is still New York. It's still got that vibe. It's not as when I say it's not as crowded as it was.
Oh, but is the crime better? And I know it was Andrew Giuliani's mayoral video thing, but a couple of weeks ago he was at Washington Square Park, just steps away from Greenwich Village, one of our favorite places on the planet, with that sort of Arc de Triomphe replica that they got there, and the one and it was a Sunday morning, and he's like stepping over garbage and I think a dead body's in there. I'm kidding about that, and it was like, what, really?
I know, and it's not great, but here's what you're not going to ride the subway at night. Well, you're not going to be anywhere where there's not a crowd of people. It's not. This is not horrifying. Again, these are trade-offs that people are going to have to decide whether they're going to make it or not.
You're very.
But at 61, you know what I'm going to do when people get mad at me for going along, and I'm getting a lot of pushback. People are saying, "Why are you going to Broadway? Why are you wearing a mask? Why did you get a vaccine?" Because you know what? Honest to goodness, I really do want to live my life. I don't have a lot of pleasures in my life, and
the ones I have,
I'll be damned if they're going to take it from me. Now, here's Biden meeting yesterday with these big company leaders, and the whole debate about will Biden's vaccine mandates hold up. I don't know. I mean, I will tell you this, and people are going to get infuriated with me. It's performative to show your vaccine at a restaurant or at a Broadway theater. They don't look at it. They look at it, but they don't. You know, They're not able to verify it. They just want to see you're making the effort. I'm not encouraging anybody to cheat. I'm just telling you, showing them that little piece of paper or that thing on your phone is as simple as, well, getting on a plane or going to cash a check at the bank. It's not for me, not the end of the world. Now, for people who say philosophically we shouldn't have mandates, and again, I'm against mandates like you are from the government. I'm against government-imposed mandates. I don't like business-imposed mandates. I also don't like them taking my life from me. So I could be screaming to the mountaintops about I don't want to go to the show because I don't want to have to show my vaccine. And then I'm going to deny
yourself the experience.
I'm going to sit in my living room. I'm sorry. I'm not. That's not a victory to me.
That makes 1,000% sense.
All
I
right.
totally get it. Your decision to partake in the portions of life that are afforded to you, even under circumstances you might not agree with, does not mean that you are swell and on board with this. You'll continue to fight the fight for good policy while actually doing things that make you happy.
I want to have a life work. I want to have a life work balance. I love what I get to do for a living, and then I want to take a few hours and enjoy my life, or I want to hop on a plane and go see my kid, who incidentally went back to school this week in Arlington, and
that wasn't supposed to happen.
He is in the classroom, Mark.
Oh man,
they got the wheelchair accessibility for him. He is in the chair, and there's a bunch of fifth graders who are just over the moon that Mr. G is back.
This is Mike's son Trevor, who was in a hellacious car accident.
Head-on car crash in Arlington, August 2nd. You know, and he shattered both legs, his left arm, his left wrist, 7 broken ribs. I've never seen anybody with such an indefatigable indefatigable spirit. I've never seen anybody. He is my hero. I mean, he is just like
So cool.
on the political side, Larry Elder inspires me. On the personal side, my kid Trevor inspires me. And so, there's a good example. Here I am in New York or Florida. If I want to go see my kid and I want to see my granddaughter, I'm going to say I'm not going to go see him because I don't want to wear a mask.
No, of course, exactly.
So those are the life choices. Meanwhile, let's talk Turkey here. Big headline: Afghan refugees headed to 46 states. By the numbers, good old Texas, right up there as the second highest. California is projected to receive the largest number of Afghans. They deserve it. Next is Texas. It does not deserve it. I mean, Hawaii, South Dakota, West Virginia, and Wyoming are the only 4 states not slated to receive anyone from the first group of evacuees. Tens of thousands of...
There's a joke in there somewhere.
I know.
Even Afghan refugees said the Taliban is bad, but West Virginia, no, I cannot. I love John Denver, but no.
Yeah, but Hawaii, come on, it's paradise, people. Go sit on the beach, I mean, no, it's, and then of course if you push back at that, you're a racist, you're a bigot. This is a big story. I mean, and the big picture.
How do you feel about it? Because I, for one, to the degree to which that these arriving Afghans are grateful, hardworking, wonderful folks looking to assimilate, I expect them to be golden contributions to whatever community they enter. But how many terrorists are in there with them? Right. I don't know. Right. 5%, 10%? Because God knows they weren't vetted.
I was going to say, allow me to answer that question with a question. Do you trust the Biden administration vetted them properly?
You have my answer.
I mean, my goodness, vetting. I mean, that's the big. Now, speaking of the Biden administration, they're digging in on the Woodward book, and there's Milley's denying wrongdoing, but not denying the phone calls.
No, exactly. That which is just the kind of mental illness that you and I have chronicled well. They do these things, and they don't think anything's the matter with them.
It's what you said. So, I quoted you all day yesterday on the Milley story.
Thank you.
Well, it's true because, and now I understand they think that of us. They think we're the ones who, Pete Wehner told me that he thinks, a lot of these pro-Trump conservatives have been deformed and poisoned by Trumpism. Well, we see it just the opposite. We believe strongly that the hatred for Trump poisons the mind. It seeps into the soul. Milley hates Trump so badly, he thinks calling China and saying, now, if we bomb you, we'll let you know, behind the commander-in-chief's back is okay.
All right.
This is so baffling, Mark, and we're going to try to make some sense of it today because it doesn't make any to me. And a great piece I want to share with you finally on the show today, 10:05. Molly Hemingway won an award on September 13th, the Bradley Prize. But she gave a speech about what the right needs now is the courage to fight, even if it costs us. And you're going to love her essay.
So
you're going to look it up. She's one of my favorites. I find myself reading the Federalist more and more these days. And by the way, the Federalist Papers featured prominently in Hamilton.
I wrote the Federalist Papers. Wrote the Federalist Papers. Put the
Alexander
pen in the ink, wrote the Federalist.
He wrote. No, it's not like that.
I'm kidding.
And you'll love King George. You
sure
say your life is. It's so funny. I mean, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
I probably will. Hey, and listen, thank you for the quality lead-in. I'm doing Prager today.
Attaboy.
And listeners at 12:05 will hear the first post-election interview with our friend Larry Elder.
Nice way to go. We'll give him my. Well, we're supposed to be on stage together next week. Do me a favor. I'm trying to reach him. See if he's coming next week to Tampa.
Sure.
I'm really in a quandary because I want
messages.
Well, I want to plug the event. See if there's a subtle way you can get it in.
I heard you on the show 3-4 days ago saying, "Hey, I got Ron DeSantis is going to be there, and I'm going to be there, and Larry Elder." I said, "Wait a minute, won't
I
Larry
know.
Be
well, now that he lost,
California?
Will he go? He's going to come back to
his calendar is free.
I think he's doing stuff. I think he's available. So let's see.
Man, I'll check. I'll gladly check.
All right, so you got two things on your to-do list. You got to ask Larry if he's coming to Tampa, and you got to watch Hamilton.
Okay, very good. Got it.
Goodbye. Love you.
That is Mike Gallagher. He does a show. He runs my life, and we are all well served.